There are many countries with unique and strange traditions, but there is one place in the world where a very controversial event is held every spring, a dark market where dozens of women parade in front of hundreds of suitors. Get ready to discover the mysteries and wonders of what is considered by many to be the cheapest country in Europe. In this new video of Uncensored World, you are going to know Bulgaria, one of the most unknown countries in Europe, but also one of the most fascinating and controversial of the old continent. A country with traditions as surprising as the one that, every spring, in a city called Stara Zagora, a controversial market takes place in which young Roma girls parade to become the wife of the suitor who makes the best offer. A nation older than Rome, where vampire tombs were discovered very close to a cursed village, with unique curiosities such as being the oldest and also the cheapest country in Europe, having invented and owning the best yogurt in the world, or having discovered here the oldest treasure in history. Probably one of the most enigmatic countries in the world, not only for its rich history and traditions, but also for being the birthplace of Baba Vanga, the legendary blind seer since the age of 12, considered by many as the most accurate prophetess of all time, even ahead of Nostradamus himself. Pay attention and do not miss this video because we assure you that discovering Bulgaria with Uncensored World will surprise you. Let's get started. Located in southeastern Europe, Bulgaria is a country with a rich history and a fascinating cultural diversity that often goes unnoticed by many. Although not as well known as many neighboring countries, Bulgaria has much to offer visitors who venture out to explore it. Known for its stunning mountain scenery, Bulgaria boasts a diverse geography that includes majestic mountains, fertile valleys, and beautiful beaches along its Black Sea coastline. It is also home to the highest mountain in the Balkans, the 2,925-meter-high Mount Musala, which attracts hikers and nature lovers from all over the world. The climate in Bulgaria varies according to region and season, with warm summers and cold winters. The Rila and Pirin Mountains are popular destinations for skiing and snowboarding in winter, while the Black Sea coast is a perfect place to relax in the sun in summer. The name Bulgaria has its roots in the ancient Bulgarian tribe that inhabited the region in ancient times. Over the centuries, Bulgaria has been influenced by various cultures and civilizations, resulting in a rich cultural heritage that is reflected in its architecture, cuisine, and traditions. Something that few know about the history of this fascinating country is that Bulgaria is one of the oldest states in Europe and existed as an organized nation long before the founding of Rome, as the roots of the region and its peoples go back thousands of years. In fact, traces have been found of Thracian civilizations that inhabited these lands as early as the Bronze Age, centuries before Rome began its expansion. This makes Bulgaria a true historical treasure, whose legacy continues to influence Europe to this day. But Bulgaria's antiquity lies not only in its people and traditions, but also in its wine, one of the oldest in the world. Archaeological evidence reveals that the Thracians, ancestors of the Bulgarians, were already producing wine more than 6,000 years ago, long before the creation of the Roman Empire. This region was a key center of wine culture in ancient times, and it is believed that the Thracians were the first to introduce the tradition of offering wine in religious ceremonies. Today, Bulgaria remains a renowned wine country, heir to a tradition that has endured for millennia. This combination of millennia-old history and living culture makes Bulgaria a must-see destination for lovers of historical secrets and authentic experiences. Who would imagine that behind this small Balkan country lie such ancient and fascinating stories? Probably many of its inhabitants would, as some truly surprising and enigmatic realities have been discovered in Bulgaria. One of the most curious and controversial findings are the so-called vampire graves, which have appeared in several regions of the country. During archaeological excavations, experts found human remains buried with stakes driven through the heart, a practice that, according to historians, was performed to prevent the dead from returning from the grave as vampires. These rituals date back to the Middle Ages, although some discoveries are much more recent. fueling the belief that the legends about vampires might have some truth to them. Bulgaria's connection to vampires doesn't end there. The country is considered one of the main foci of European vampire myths, along with the Transylvania region of Romania. In several rural regions, ancestral rituals to protect families from the Nosferatu, as they were called in the Balkans, still survive. There are even historical documents that mention legal proceedings against people accused of vampirism. What is most disturbing is that the archaeologists who discovered these graves believe that the locals did not perform these rituals out of superstition, but out of real fear of something sinister happening. Be that as it may, Bulgaria is full of places and legends that feed this halo of mystery, making it an ideal land for lovers of mysteries and the supernatural. There are so many mysterious and supernatural stories that we could create many more videos, but among them, perhaps one of the most surprising, also for the locals, is that of the ghost town of Kovacevica. The village of Kovacevica, located in the Rhodope Mountains, near the graves of the supposed vampires you have met. This village is famous for its centuries-old stone houses and its eerily lonely atmosphere, which seems to be straight out of a horror story. Although today it is also a tourist destination, many claim that this ghost town is haunted. Stories are told of figures appearing in the windows of abandoned houses, many discovered only in photos, or of strange lights moving through the surrounding woods at nightfall. The most famous legend tells of a family that disappeared without a trace, leaving the tables set and the doors open, as if something had forced them to leave suddenly. Some people also claim to have heard whispers in unknown languages as they walk along the ancient cobblestone streets at dusk, while others claim to have seen shadows following them until they leave the village. What is certain is that the ghost town of Kovacevica continues to feed legends of mystery that are part of Bulgaria's identity. Thinking about the most striking mysteries and curiosities of Bulgaria, we will soon talk in more detail about the Roma wives' market. But before doing so, it is good to understand what is meant by Roma, which would be an ethnic group from these parts of Europe with origins in Romania, hence the name. Roma are commonly known as gypsies. But do you know who the gypsies are? The Roma people, known as gypsies, are about 8 million people in the world. They are nomadic and are said to originate from northern India, from the Rajasthan area, who migrated hundreds of years ago to Eastern Europe, reaching countries such as Romania and Bulgaria, although they are found in most European countries. They are commonly called gypsies, although originally their name would be Roma people. They tend not to have a very good reputation among people of different ethnicities, as they are considered to be very agitated, and maintain traditions as old and strange as this one of the wife market. In Europe, it is rare to see people interacting or hanging out with them, as they tend not to mix with society because their traditions and values are often different from the values of the society in which they live. Probably the most famous gypsy or Roma woman on the planet, and certainly the best known in Bulgaria, is the elderly seer Baba Vanga. For many, she is considered the most important prophetess in modern history, even ahead of Nostradamus himself. Despite her humble origins and having lived most of her life in a small village, her name has transcended borders, becoming an enigmatic figure whose predictions have aroused both fascination and concern in millions of people around the world. Baba Vanga was born in Strumica, a town that at the time was part of the Ottoman Empire and today belongs to North Macedonia, but at that time was under the direct influence of Bulgaria. However, her family was of Bulgarian origin, which connects her identity with the culture of Bulgaria and makes many consider her Bulgarian as well. From a very young age, her life was marked by tragedy. She lost her mother when she was just a child, and soon after, her father, a Bulgarian political activist, was arrested several times for ideological reasons. However, the event that was to change her destiny occurred when she was just over 10 years old. A dust storm, which according to witnesses seemed to come out of nowhere, caught her while she was playing in the field. The wind blew her up into the air and swept her several meters away, leaving her severely injured and practically blind. This experience marked her forever, and it was then that her visions of the future began. Although her blindness was a devastating blow, many assure that this change in her life awakened in her a special sensitivity towards the supernatural. Of Romani roots, Baba Vanga was familiar with some of the mystical practices of this community, such as divination through the elements of nature. As the years went by, her fame began to spread to nearby villages. People came to her house in search of advice, healing, and answers to their daily problems. Over time, however, her visions became broader and encompassed global events that would mark history. Among the predictions that made her world famous are the death of Stalin, the sinking of the Russian submarine Kursk, or the September 11th attacks. Her followers also claim that she anticipated the arrival of a world pandemic. Her prophecies, ranging from natural disasters to political conflicts, led her to be known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans. We will get into the detail of the controversial gypsy wife market very soon, but before that, we are going to tell you some very striking curiosities about the Bulgarian population. One of the most common traditions is that Bulgarian women, when they get married, usually take the surname of the husband they marry. If, for example, a Bulgarian woman named Maria Ivanova, a common first and last name in this country, marries a Bulgarian named Mikhail Petrov, she will become, although she may choose not to be, Maria Petrova. Adding the suffix "a" to her husband's surname, which would be the feminine of the Bulgarian surnames. Surely to many it may seem a macho custom, but since it is not obligatory, we could consider it more as a vestige of how things were decades ago. One of the strangest curiosities that will surely catch your attention if you travel to Bulgaria is that in this country they nod and deny in reverse than the rest of the world. That is, they say yes, while with their head they make a negative gesture. And when they say no, the head gesture would be affirmative. You could try right now to say out loud, for example, "Yes, I love it," while shaking your head. Or on the contrary, say "I disagree" while nodding your head. If you've tried it, leave us a comment telling us what you thought of the experience. And don't forget to subscribe to Uncensored World so you don't miss videos like this one every week. Surely you see that it is something quite complicated, and if you were to travel to this country, you would find it hard to understand. Perhaps these curiosities have a lot to do with the fact that this country is considered the oldest in Europe. Its origin dates back to the foundation of the First Bulgarian Empire in the year 681 AD, when Asparuh, leader of the Bulgarians, established the Bulgarian state in the Balkan region. Bulgaria is also the only country in the European Union that has not changed its name since its foundation. In this region, there is an antiquity and peculiarity that adds even more fascination to Bulgaria, the considered oldest treasure in the world, discovered in the necropolis of Varna. This necropolis is an archaeological site dating back to the Copper Age and contains a series of tombs with impressive finds, among which the famous Varna treasure stands out. This treasure is a collection of gold, copper, and precious stone artifacts, believed to be more than 7,000 years old, making it a treasure older than the pyramids of Egypt. And speaking of antiquities, it is also worth mentioning the history of yogurt, which is believed to have been created in Bulgaria. Although not as old as the Varna treasure, yogurt has a history that goes back thousands of years. It is said that Bulgarians were the first to discover the lactic fermentation process that gives rise to yogurt, and since then, Bulgarian yogurt has been acclaimed around the world for its unique taste and health benefits. In fact, Bulgaria, almost every year, wins awards for the best yogurt in the world, reflecting its tradition and expertise in the production of this food. So if you like yogurt, don't hesitate to visit Bulgaria. One of the best places in the world to taste it would be Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, a country and capital that today belongs to the European Union, but a few decades ago belonged to the Soviet Union before it fell. This fact seems to have a lot to do with the present of Bulgaria, since now it seems that time is frozen in it. Its streets, trains, and buildings look like a city of the Soviet Union. It is a very small city, surely very similar to a miniature Moscow. From the Bulgarian capital, we went to the city of Stara Zagora, 2 hours away from Sofia, to see the controversial Gypsy Wives Market. Although this community in Bulgaria prefers to be called Roma, so we will use this term. Every year, girls gather in this town to be sold, and the price for their sale is apparently set by the girl's family. According to some data we have found on the web, the selling prices are usually around $10,000 to $50,000. In this city, every spring, a controversial wives market takes place in which young Roma girls parade in front of the suitors who offer the best offer for them. This market is the most important annual gathering of the Roma clan, known as Kalaiji, a subgroup of the Roma that numbers some 18,000 members and constantly faces prejudice and exclusion throughout Europe. These Roma struggle to survive because of their ancient heritage as copper craftsmen. As a result, these wife markets, which are often sensationally portrayed, are one of the few Kalaiji traditions that still survive the passage of time. Surely the misfortunes and hardships for these Kalaiji families must be truly bitter for the parents to encourage their daughters to sell themselves to the highest bidder in these markets. From the channel, we hope and wish that things can improve in these parts of the world, to stop perpetuating traditions that limit the freedoms of these communities. It would be great if the world and the nations would help to stop these realities from taking place, and in countries like this one it could be easily solved. Since Bulgaria is the world's largest producer of rose for cosmetic use, and this generates a lot of money and employment. This has a lot to do with the fact that, in the wonderful valley known as the Valley of Roses, up to 85% of the world's rose production is grown every year. That is why many of the best perfumes in the world have among their ingredients Bulgarian rose, a rose that, just to give you an idea of how valuable it is, its essence alone sells for more than 10,000 euros per liter. A price that is far from the cost of living in Bulgaria, since this country is considered by many the cheapest country in Europe. Low prices in almost all aspects of everyday life make Bulgaria incredibly attractive for tourists. For example, the cost of living in Bulgaria is significantly lower than in many other European countries. This is reflected in the price of basic commodities such as coffee, which in a typical cafe in Sofia usually costs less than €1, while a pint of beer in a bar can reach a maximum of €2. In addition, the rent of housing in Bulgaria is one of the cheapest in European countries, with one-bedroom apartments in the center of Sofia, the capital, which are usually around 250 or 300 euros per month. For all these reasons, Bulgaria is not only one of the favorite summer destinations for many Europeans, but has become in recent years the dream destination and chosen by many digital nomads. What do you think about Bulgaria? Would you like to know the Gypsy Bride Market, or what is the curiosity that has caught your attention? Pause the video and leave us your comment. Doing so is the best way to support and be part of Uncensored World and help us to keep working to bring you the best content. Thank you. Apart from its curiosities, Bulgaria also offers an amazing variety of destinations to explore, from majestic mountains to stunning coastlines on the Black Sea. Among the highlights is the Cave of God's Eyes, a unique natural wonder that captivates visitors with its impressive rock formations, and the two upper openings that resemble two large eyes, hence its enigmatic name. Plunging into the depths of this cave is an unforgettable experience that transports you to a subway world of fascinating beauty. For outdoor adventure lovers, Bulgaria's majestic mountains offer a paradise for hiking, skiing, and unspoiled nature enthusiasts. From the Balkan Mountains to the impressive Pirene and Rhodope Mountains, there are countless routes in this country to explore and landscapes to admire. And perhaps one of Bulgaria's greatest natural treasures to discover is Bulgaria's Black Sea coast. With golden sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and lively resorts, destinations like Sunny Beach and Golden Sands are popular with tourists looking to relax and enjoy the sun and sea. In addition, the Bulgarian coastline is dotted with charming fishing villages and historic towns that offer a rich cultural experience by the sea. We come to the end of this enigmatic journey through fascinating Bulgaria, a country full of history, mystery, and natural beauty. After discovering so many secrets and curiosities, you are probably wondering how to enjoy this place in the best way and without affecting your pocket too much. The good news is that Bulgaria is considered by many as the cheapest and most economical country in Europe, which makes it an ideal choice for those looking for a unique experience without spending a fortune. Access to Bulgaria is quite simple. Sofia Airport in the capital is the main arrival point, and direct flights connect from there to many European cities. Visa requirements vary by country of origin, but citizens of the European Union, the United States, Canada, and other countries do not need visas for short stays, usually up to 90 days. In any case, it is always advisable to check the specific requirements according to your nationality before you travel. Once in Bulgaria, getting around the country is easy and affordable. The public transportation system is efficient, with trains, buses, and streetcars connecting major cities and tourist spots. Cab options are also available, and for those who prefer more flexibility, car rental is an affordable alternative. Train and bus tickets are quite cheap compared to other European destinations. As for accommodation, Bulgaria offers options for all tastes and budgets. You will find private rooms in budget hotels at very reasonable prices, depending on the season and location. For those looking for a more social atmosphere or a more affordable option, shared hostels are also an excellent alternative. Local food is equally inexpensive, and enjoying dinner in a traditional restaurant will not cost you a fortune. As for drinks, you can enjoy a good beer in a local bar for a very affordable price. In addition to being a budget destination, Bulgaria is also a very safe country for travelers. With a relatively low crime rate and a population known for its friendliness and hospitality, you will be able to enjoy your stay without worries. With all this information, you will be able to explore and experience Bulgaria in the best way, without your budget being an obstacle, and with the peace of mind of being in a safe place. From Uncensored World, we hope that this journey through the mysteries and beauties of the fascinating Bulgaria has been as exciting for you as it has been for us. Thinking about it, and the effort it takes us to make these videos, we would love you to leave us a nice like and your comment. It is the best way you have to help us to continue bringing you the best content every week. If you enjoyed this video and you are not yet subscribed, don't wait any longer and do it now by activating the little bell so you don't miss the fascinating videos we make every week. Videos like this one that you can enjoy now to know one of the most fascinating corners of the planet. Do not miss it and discover the wonders that this place has to offer.